when we talk about family and businesses and family and just the dynamic is that, ladies, a man can't say he doesn't pay attention if he cares. And fellas, if you care, you pay attention, you listen, because you're gonna catch every single detail. And I just noticed she always talked about her father. I'm talking to you, I want to get to know you. You ask me so many questions, I tell you everything about my life. But this is the thing that I see you don't want to talk about. And I'm like, I want to know. Like, I'm learning you. Like, I want to learn who I'm dealing with.
AKA Mr. 500, let's go!
Anything you want in this world is dependent on. Everybody wants to be wealthy. Everybody wants to get money, but why? I did 25 million the last 2 years. I come from nothing. You gotta move the earth. You gotta take action. You gotta act.
Some of y'all are scared to tell people, fuck you.
That's when it kind of went into it, because I knew, and I set the question up because I wanted her to be comfortable talking. It was one of them situations where you couldn't avoid it. Like, you're not gonna just, I'm talking to you, I want to get to know you. You ask me so many questions, I tell you everything about my life. But this is the thing that I see you don't want to talk about. And I'm like, I want to know. Like, I'm learning you. Like, I want to learn who I'm dealing with, because I'm a shallow person where, not shallow, but I'm judgmental.
And shallow.
I'm judgmental, but I'm intricate with details when it comes to people I deal with. And so, like, I want to know who I'm dealing with wholeheartedly, because I know I'm in it. If I'm in it, I'm in it. I got to overcome everything with you. So I wanted to know who she was. I needed to know all her vulnerability. I needed to know all her down points. It's the highs is great. I love who you are when it comes to the support you give me. I love who you are with all your strong points when it comes to everything that I'm not, you are. I love that. But what's my strong points gonna have to be to make the points where you're lowest at stronger? That's going to require me. See, you don't need me on the high. You're going to need me on these lows.
Right.
What is that going to require from me? And that's one of the biggest things that we both understood, and we got to explore each other and see, like, okay, I know your strong points. I got it. But the hurdle for me is overcoming her low points, and it's vice versa. And that was one of the things, like, we talk about, like, we going into like growth spurts where I had to go from being a boy to a man. And at 27, I always say, like, I'm a young man. Like, I wasn't a full grown man. Now at 35, I'm into my manhood. But at 27, I would tell her, like, I'm still a young man. I'm a boy, a young man growing into my manhood. I'm at a point where I'm transitioning into this. And this is where we came together and everything started to make sense. Like, I was the one who we look back and say, I wanted to buy businesses, not buy business, but start businesses and companies and run and get money. She like, okay, but okay, how do we go about paperwork and to acquire our first home? We need to go buy a home. Like, we can't live in an apartment. We need to buy a home. It's just certain things that was required that she needed that I didn't even look at. And I'm like, oh man, you could just go, man, the goal was I'm in Atlanta, rent a condo. We can go get us a high rise, $2,500 a month. And
this was before I moved here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is it.
Yeah.
And she's like, now I want to buy a home. I'm like, okay, let's do it. And so many things along those lines, from having Cameron, for us, having Cameron, buying a home, everything it helped me grow. I always had the hustle. I remember we got text messages. We talk about Black Spade Enterprises when we was
that was our first
out.
business. Black Spade Spade Enterprises was our first business back in 2016. And what we were doing is we were trying to get as many cars as we can get and hire drivers to do something like Uber. Remember?
So what they would do is they would use the car. So let's just say you got a Nissan Altima. People would rent the cars, and they would rent them for 8 hours. And so on an 8-hour shift, and then it was an 8-hour shift where we can have 3 people rotating throughout the car to use it to drive for Uber, DoorDash, and stuff like that. Grubhub, all this stuff it wasn't Door, it was Uber or Lyft. Those were the two predominantly ones at that time. But it was just different businesses. I'm like, yo, we gonna hustle. But it was so much that we did together that brung everything out. And hold on, everybody that's here, y'all make sure y'all on YouTube Live. Y'all make sure y'all like this video. Make sure y'all like this video. Like the video while y'all here. But we did so much in the growth spurt that when it came to business, I seen her strong points like she seen mine. And at one point, I was a house dad. Like, you know, we ain't gonna say, I'm not gonna sit here and say, yo, we went, man, since I've been with her, we've been up, we've been having great times, we've been balling.
I think that's the misconception, because I always get asked, like, how do you do it? I'm like, how do we do what? Mm-hmm. We do it together. We got trying times like everybody else. I always tell people, you know, we've been broke before. You know what I mean? Like, whether you believe it or not, we've been broke before. But I think one of the biggest things that we did is we worked together. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, through the fights, the arguments, everything, like we always kind of knew what was most important. You know what I mean? And I think that's what kept us. And even to transforming our growth spurt from being a boy to a man, I had to be a girl to a woman. And that's why I kind of touched on the situation with my mom, because even moving here, being in a relationship with you, that wasn't easy for me. You know what I mean? So I had to figure out how to be a woman to a man. You know what I mean? How to be everything that you looked for and that you required and desired from a partner. You know what I mean? What a relationship actually looked like. I've never seen a healthy relationship that I wanted to mimic, or better yet, a healthy marriage. You know, a 2-parent household, that's unheard of in our community, especially where I come from. Like, that was really rare. So just to see that and how to coexist in a household, like, it was real work for me. You know what I mean? So not only did you have to go through a growth spurt, but so did I.